Welcome to my next video. I haven't talked about this very much. However, I have been using a very old laptop, and I will show you. This is the laptop that I've been using, and it died on me last week. It just gave up the ghost. These things happen. I knew it was coming, and or at this point I'm one of those people who just waits until it's inevitable. So I did buy a new laptop, and I wanted to show you guys my new laptop. So this, my old laptop was a Dell Inspiron 5559, 5554, something like that. So this one is a Dell Latitude, and there were a couple things that I specifically was looking for. My old computer has a dedicated number pad and a touch screen. And those are two features that I just use a lot and I really enjoy. So I really wanted to make sure that I had those features in my new computer. And so that came, it actually came last night, but it came right before I had a meeting I had to go to. So I did cut the tape on it, but I haven't really had a chance to get it out and look at it. So here we go. This is the box, so it does come shipped in a very nice, secure box. It came fairly quickly. It took I think 6 days to ship. I paid extra to get 2-day shipping, but I'm cheap and I didn't. This is the laptop itself. It is currently in like a really thin but nice fabric sort of envelope thing that says, "Welcome to Dell, let's do great things together." And I assume that's just to protect it from like any scratches or anything. So taking that off, this is the laptop itself. Size-wise, it actually looks like it's maybe like an inch narrower than my old laptop and maybe like a half an inch or so shorter. So it's actually a little bit smaller, but I would also say that it's about the same, maybe a little bit narrower on the height. But opening it up to show you this. So it does have another piece of like protective paper there in between the screen and the keyboard, and you can see there on this side the dedicated number pad and that stuff. So obviously it looks very brand new and fancy. Things that are in the box. Okay, so this is a Latitude 5540, the same like mid-range as the Inspiron that I had, just it's a Latitude. And this is warranty, safety, regulatory information, and some basics about how to close the camera so that people aren't like spying on you from your camera, what each of the ports are, as like a Thunderbolt and some USB 3.2, micro SD, HDMI, an SC card. This one, my old laptop did have an optical drive, it had a DVD CD drive. This one does not. As we all know, it's 2023, nobody uses those anymore. And it tells you how to plug it in, to get power, how to change the brightness. So pretty basic stuff. I'll hang on to that just in case we need that later. In this little pocket, sort of side pocket here, there's the giant silica gel, do not eat, just throw away. And we have the power cord. So it is a 2-part cord like most laptops are these days. And so the next step obviously will be to get this plugged in and charged, and then I can start getting it set up. It's a C-type power cord, which this is actually super cool. Old laptop had like more of a traditional, like the round with the dot in the middle power cord, but this means that I will be able to use some of my other like backup batteries or other cords to charge this computer. And that's really important because what happened with my old laptop is I left it where it was accessible to my dogs at one point in time, and the dogs managed to trip over the cord, damage the computer, but they did chew on the power cord, and so that has created some long-standing problems. And I did look into getting a new power cord, but it was like a couple $100. and I kind of decided that that was money I'd rather put into a new laptop rather than buying a new cord, which was annoying for an extended period of time. But anyway, so pretty basic, straightforward as far as what's in the box. Nicely shipped, I would say. And then, so the only question is, okay, oh, it does have a fingerprint sensor. That's, I guess this over here, that's your fingerprint sensor. But maybe I need to read the directions because I don't actually know how to turn it on. My old computer had an obvious power button, and this one does not. It seems to say that the off-on button is the fingerprint sensor, so we'll just see if they shipped it with any charge. I suspect they did not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has any charge. So we'll get it charged up and then we will see what is next. Yay, new computer. So got it plugged in. This is the initial boot up sequence. And I will say that this is definitely better than my old laptop because the BIOS got corrupted on that. So we'll see. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. That's the second time that this screen has come up. This is all pretty standard stuff. Basic information. What's your home country? Yep, it's already set for the United States. Preferred language, English, United States, US keyboard. Although I do need to fix the time zone because I am not in Central Time. That looks like it's going the wrong direction. Let's try this way. Ah, there we go. Eastern US and Canada. Perfect. And then you can see down here if you have a preference for Spanish, French, or Brazilian Portuguese. Those are also options that you could run setup in. So we click next. And this should be a Wi-Fi capable computer. So we'll see if we can get the Wi-Fi set up and then run the update. All right, so we are logged in to the Wi-Fi. So hopefully this is going to run the updates that it needs to run. Okay, so it looks like we're getting in here, and again, it wants me to check a language. So yes, I want United States English. Yes, I'm in the United States. Yes, I want a US keyboard. I do not typically use another language for typing, so I do not need a secondary keyboard layout. And it's going to go out and check for updates again. So we are making progress here. And this is the license agreement, which obviously we are going to read very thoroughly and click accept, because if you don't agree to the license agreement, then you can't use the computer. Ta-da. So next up, it wants you to name your device. There are clearly some rules here. It cannot contain only numbers, so you do have to use some letters. It has to be no more than 15 characters, no spaces or special characters other than dashes and underscores. Okay, so once you name your computer, it does have to go through a reboot cycle. So we are rebooting again. And just for while we're waiting here, a little bit of a closer look at the keyboard. It is backlit, which is super handy. And as you can see, we have the number pad here that I wanted. This is in fact the power button and the fingerprint sensor, so I assume that we'll get a chance to set that up at some point in time. So we are making progress. Part of the boot up cycle, it did just want to reconfirm that I was connected to the Wi-Fi I wanted to be connected to, and then this time it also gave me the opportunity, if it's a metered network, to let the computer know that I'm on a metered network. This is my home Wi-Fi, so it's not metered, so I did not have to set that part up, but you could if you needed to. So a little hiccup with the internet, but that is because we live in the middle of nowhere and our Wi-Fi sucks. So had to go through that again, but that's probably not normal for people who have better Wi-Fi setups. Next question it asks you is, how would you like to set up this device, personal or work? While I do plan on using this for work, I do not have like a corporate IT department setting it up, and it also gives you the option to set it up for school. So if your school owned this laptop and they wanted to be able to set it up so their IT people could get into it, that would be where you would want to use the setup for work or school situation, but that does not apply to me. So like I said, while I'm actually going to be using this for work, I'm going to set it up with my personal account so that I have full control over the device, because I don't have a IT department managing things for me. I am the IT department. So this is a Windows device. It's a Dell, so I got it with Windows 11. So this is all going to be set up in a Windows environment. If you're looking for a Mac setup, like go watch a video about somebody setting up a Macintosh, because I don't use Apple products. So this is going to take you through the setup for Microsoft, and you can see I will have to sign in with my Microsoft account, which is very easy to create if you don't have one. It's basically you just use your email address and gets you access to the various Microsoft suite of productivity and various other tools and experiences. Will sync across your various Microsoft devices, gets you access to OneDrive, which is the cloud storage that comes with a Microsoft account. So very, very helpful. So we're going to go through that next. And this is the pin setup page. You have the option here, if you want to click this little box, you can use letters and symbols as part of your pin, or you can also do just like a traditional number code pin. And I don't even know if it limits you as far as the number. Nowhere does it say that you're limited in the number of digits. So you could use a longer than 4-digit pin if you do want just a slightly higher level of security. So we will get that set up and keep moving along. So in case you're wondering, you can always also use your email and password to log into your computer as well. So that means that I have at a minimum 3 different ways that I can log into my computer at any given time, varying levels of convenience. So that's just a very helpful thing from a productivity standpoint to have set up. The next thing we're looking at is choosing your privacy settings, and Microsoft puts you in control of your privacy. You can choose your settings, then select accept for them. Location. Again, this is like whatever you're comfortable with, whatever makes sense to you. Having your location turned on does give you local weather, which it says in here. It also provides your location to various apps and websites. One issue that I have with my super crummy Wi-Fi service here at my house is I can have the location turned on, but a lot of times my ISP, my internet service provider, reports my location as being a town that's about 100 miles east of where I actually live. So sometimes I get some wonky sort of feedback when I am looking for location-based things, but sometimes it works. It's very weird. I do recommend, if you can get a high-quality internet service provider, then do that. But in the meantime, I do like to leave that turned on, and then you can go into your internet browser and use your internet browser to kind of toggle who you allow to see your location and who you don't. So that means that you'll be able to get the weather in the service tray, wherever that is in Windows 11, but you don't necessarily have to give your location to everybody. So there are other ways that you can toggle this on and off based on what you're using. Find My Device. Turn on Find My Device. Use your device's location data to help you find your device if you lose it. Don't lose your laptop. Like, that's a bad idea. But you still have to log into Windows, so you would be logging into Windows from another device to try to track down where your laptop is. So yeah, I would say that's something you probably want to have on. And obviously no one plans to lose their laptop, and if you do, then you have an option to try to track it down and recover it. Diagnostic data, again, this is one, if you're super like wigged out about privacy, you might want to turn this one off. I don't really do a lot of things that I'm super worried about, so I don't mind if diagnostic data gets sent. It's typically anonymized, so they don't actually see anything private about you. It's just kind of about how you use your computer and how it works, how it's working. If you have a problem, having that turned on can make sure that the error codes and things are sent and you can get a solution faster. But again, if you have issues with privacy, you might want to turn it off. That's definitely up to you. Inking and typing, again, this is collecting diagnostic data that allows them to improve their services. So if they however they go about figuring it out, but if they see like you're making a lot of corrections to what they're trying to do, this will allow them to get the information they need to make the inking and typing services better. So that just makes my life more convenient. Tailored experiences. This is the one that gets you more personalized ads. Again, like you can definitely turn this off if you want, but then get some ads that don't apply to you. And the ads that they serve you could be based on like where you live or what other people in your area are searching for. So when I've had this turned off, I have gotten some interesting ads that I'm definitely not interested in. So I'm going to leave that on for now. Again, you can always go into settings and turn these things off if you want. And then the advertising ID, again, just allows them to track what you're looking for, what you're doing, and get you some more personalized ads, which, again, some people find to be kind of creepy. However, it does keep you from getting ads that are very clearly not things that you're interested in. So personal choice for those two. I'm going to leave them on for now. So this is asking some of your preferences: name, email, area, again, phone number. I don't think any of this is actually required. However, it does make things easier for you if you provide that information and you need it for other things down the road. We're going to click and say that we agree with whatever the privacy policies are, because if we don't, then there's no real point in having this particular device because you can't use it unless you agree to all their stuff. Now we're on to customizing your experience. Select the ways you plan to use your device to get personalized tips and ads recommendations. Again, you can totally skip this. That is an option. Up to you if you want to tell them what you're going to do. Entertainment, I might end up using this for entertainment, definitely for browsing the web, social media, because that's part of what I do for my job. Gaming, I don't really play a lot of games on my computer, so I'm not going to click that one. School, take notes, write essays, collaborate on projects. I'm not in school, but I could potentially do some of those kind of things with the work that I do. Creativity, bring your ideas to life with video and photos. Obviously, that's one I'm going to want. Business, tracking expenses, managing business, chatting with customers. Those are things I do. Connecting with family. So while this is my laptop, sometimes other people need to use it. And so I do want to make sure that I have the ability to set up different profiles on this computer for the other people in my family. All right, so this one is use your phone from your PC. You can respond to text messages, make calls, and that kind of thing. So I did have this set up on my old laptop. It was fairly convenient. Apparently, if you scroll down a little bit, there is a different setup if you're using an iPhone. I, however, am using an Android. So I will scan the QR code and see what happens. Okay, so that is all done. Basically, when you scan the QR code, it takes you to a website to download an app to your phone, which I actually already had on my phone. So download the app, you open the app, scan the QR code again, and it sends you a code to confirm. It links your phone with your computer. You give it all the permissions, unless of course you don't want to give it permissions, but then if you don't agree to all of the permissions, then you're not gonna get, like, it's things aren't gonna work. So that part is done. Moving on. So once again, it is checking for more updates. You definitely want to let it check for updates, because the computers come with the base model of like Windows and everything, and they will, everything basically that you install is going to need to update to the most recent version. So in case you haven't caught on yet, getting a new computer set up just takes some time. I am currently about an hour in total elapsed time. So through the magic of movies, you hopefully have not had to sit through an hour of this, and there's a lot of waiting involved. So it said hi, it says getting things ready for you. This might take a few minutes. Don't turn your PC off. Some kind of calming graphics. If you are an impatient person, this is going to be a very frustrating process for you. It's, however, very necessary. So I would encourage you to just dig deep for whatever patience you can find and let it do its thing. I don't know if you can hear that. The fan is actually running right now, but it has a really, really quiet fan, so I'm really happy about that. All right, so this is your Windows 11 start screen. A couple things you'll notice if you've been using Windows 10 is down here, especially your little search bar and your Windows button are now kind of in the middle. They used to be over here on the left-hand corner, so they're in the middle now. Other than that, like, your system tray is still here in the right, and this is the point at which you will want to start customizing things. So that is what is up next. Definitely one of the first things you want to do. Now, this comes with, I believe, McAfee antivirus free for like a year or whatever. I have another program that I use, so I will probably get that set up first. Always, like, your antivirus security, you want to make sure that you have that set to go. And then also, just like with setting up a phone, part of the process is downloading the apps that you want and then relogging into all of the apps that you know and love. So we will get started with that next. All right, so one of the things is, obviously, as I said, this is runs on Microsoft Windows, Microsoft products, Microsoft 365, and that means that the pre-installed web browser is Microsoft Edge. Apparently, very good browser. However, I am of an age where I have been using Google Chrome for many, many years. I've used it on all of my devices. It has all my settings saved, everything exactly the way I want it. I use Gmail, which probably you could set up Gmail in this, but I've not had good experiences with Gmail playing well with like Microsoft Outlook and things like that in the past. So one of the things I want to do is get Chrome installed on this computer. So this is interesting. When you go to, like, that's basically like your little app tray, right? And you go to all apps, and Chrome is obviously not going to be installed here. And what you are going to want to do, obviously, is download the Google Chrome app, which you can see here. All right, so that comes up. And that does basically an internet search for it. And then Microsoft runs all of these things. They're like, hey, chat with the new Bing. They've got this huge header that says there's no need to download a new browser. And you have to scroll basically below the fold here to get any information at all about Google Chrome. And then finally down here, you can try to install the app. And it's, I don't know what it's doing here. It's reading something, but I am trying to get to a point where I can download Google Chrome so I can use it. And Microsoft is just not making it easy. So now it says click here if this page does not automatically redirect. I'm not really sure what's going on. Make sure there's no typo in google.com. Okay, so this is like Microsoft really does not want me using Chrome, but tough noogies. All right, so as you can see, Microsoft still wants to make sure I know I don't have to do this, but I'm gonna live on the edge. So, look, touchscreen works. So down here, they tell me basically 3 steps. First step is open, click allow, install anyway, and then do the installation down over on the side here. But you can see, like, it's telling me to look for downloads, and that's where I want to click it. But this little thing from Microsoft is actually covering up where I need to look, which is genius. So here we can now see download Chrome. Yes. We want to accept and install. Oop, okay. We're going. All right, well, I clicked on that stuff, but I don't see it doing anything. Yep, so that's fine. Maybe, so here's the downloads button. I don't really care if that shows there, but clearly nothing is showing in downloads. So we're going to try clicking on that again. Yes, accept and install. So it says here, your download will begin automatically. If it didn't start, download Chrome manually. There we go. Okay. So then we want to click on open file. Yes, I want to do what I'm doing. All right, so could be a little bit here for this to all download. Like I said, I have a really crappy internet connection, so we'll check back when it's done. All right, so we are making progress. That did not take nearly the 12 minutes that it claimed it might. Down here where it says get started, underneath that, if you are already a Chrome user, you can click that link and put in your Chrome Google login. So we'll do that next. All right, so we're in. And yes, I want to agree to sync all of my things so then I can see everything. Yes, I want this to be my default. And so this is our settings screen. And you can see apps is already selected. So let's try HTML. Let's try that and see what comes up. Microsoft Edge. There we go. All right. So we want to change that. I know. See, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I want to do this. I'm sure we want to set that as default. Down here. Editor, what is this? Editor, browser, writing suggestions. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll log into that next. So I wanted to wrap this up by sharing 3 last things with you as far as customizing your laptop now that you are logged in and things are getting set up. So the first thing that you are probably going to want to do is go to the start button, which no longer says start. It's this little box of 4 blue squares to the left of the center of the taskbar. So you click on that, it opens up essentially the start menu. You have your pinned apps, and you can, from here, if you right click on them, you can move them around. I don't really play that one, so I'm going to unpin that. And so you can customize what you have that shows up in your pinned apps. And then on the bottom half of this, it shows the things that you have recently accessed in case you want to go back and access them again. So if you need like a quick click to get back to what you were working on. If you click on all apps, that gives you all of your apps in alphabetical order. So this will allow you to get to any of your apps, and when you are using them, and I'm going to kind of look for one that I haven't really played with yet. Let's say this one, you can right click on it and then you can pin it to the start. So that would put it in that first window that opens up. Or if you go to more, you can pin it to the taskbar. So that would be along the bottom, as well as access other things like the app settings or running it as an administrator if it's an app that you would need to do that for. So I wanted to show you how to do that. And then the next thing that I wanted to show you is if you click on settings, that takes you to your control panel settings kind of place. Within this is where you can make any changes to settings that you want to do as far as personalization. That's here where if you want to change the background or the theme, the lighting, the lock screen, all of those good things. Back at the top within system, you'll find a lot of your basic settings. And if you need to pair a Bluetooth or another device, such as a printer, an external speaker, monitor, as well as make any changes to your phone link, you can do that within Bluetooth and devices, network and internet, where you can add other internet connections if you need to set up other things that are internet related, if you would need to do any of those things. Apps, so this is where you can find, again, all of your apps, but with the ability to make adjustments to them. And so within here, at the top here, you have your installed apps, and it will load all of your installed apps again in alphabetical order. If you left click on the 3 dots, is where you can uninstall if you would need to uninstall any app. And then time and language, accounts, gaming, that's all pretty obvious. Accessibility, if you need to make any changes to your computer to make it more accessible for you, there are a number of changes you can make for people who need accessibility that relates to vision. There's also changes that you can make for accessibility with relates to hearing, and then also for interactions. So it's really nice that all of that stuff exists here in the settings. Privacy and security. Again, this is where a lot of those things that we talked about at the beginning, you can go back and make changes or find out more information, get into more detailed privacy and security things. This is the Find My Device we talked about before. I have that turned on. If I lose my laptop, I can log into my Microsoft account and get a geolocation for where my laptop would be. And then the last one is Windows Update. If you need to manually check for updates, that button is here at the top right. Also, you can set it up to automatically check for updates, typically about once a week, and then that will keep your computer and your operating system up to date, which I highly, highly recommend. And then the last thing that I want to show you is, again, back in your start menu, you can click on Microsoft Store. And so this is basically the Microsoft equivalent of the iStore. I don't know what it is on Apple products. I'm just not an Apple person. Or the Play Store. And you can go into here. This is your home screen where it kind of gives you like the basics, but then you can also go into apps and search for and download any apps that you would want to use on your laptop. So a lot of common ones like WhatsApp, iTunes, Spotify, the Adobe Suite apps are in here. And this is also where you can find like LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, all of your social media apps, Canva, lots of things. So any app that you would want to use, you can find that typically in the Play Store, obviously, except for Google Chrome, because as we talked about before, Microsoft does not want you using Google Chrome. This is also where you can go under movie and TV and download various movie and TV shows. You do have to pay for them. Also, where your entertainment and movie apps can be found: Prime Video, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and the list, I'm sure, goes on and on. If you click here where it says has the little kind of side arrow, it'll take you to a screen where it has everything that they offer as far as that type of app. Library. This is your library of apps. If for some reason you would want to look at it from here, and then a help button. So those are the last 3 things that I wanted to share with you as far as getting your computer set up, customized, and working the way that you want it to work. I wish you all the best, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and our community will do our best to help you out. Thanks, and have a great day.